The book of Revelation 12:11 says they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they did not love their lives so much to shrink from death. To understand it, you have to look at the whole scene in Revelation 12, not just a verse. See, the bigger picture is that in Revelation 12, it describes a spiritual conflict. There's a woman who's giving birth to a child, a dragon who tries to destroy the child, and the child is taken up to God's throne. Then a war breaks out in heaven, and the dragon, which is identified as Satan, is thrown down to earth. Now, the dragon is explicitly identified as the ancient serpent called the devil or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. Immediately before verse 11, verse 10 says Satan is the accuser of our brothers and sisters, who accuses them before our God day and night. Wow. So the context is not primarily about winning arguments against people, gaining successes, or getting what you want. It's about overcoming the accusations and attacks of Satan. Now, by the blood of the Lamb, what does that mean? The Lamb is Jesus Christ. The blood of the Lamb points to Christ's sacrifice on the cross. And the accusation of Satan is this: you're guilty, you're unworthy, you're condemned, God can't use you. The answer is not for him, I'm good enough. We don't answer him like that. We answer him like, Christ paid for my sin. The victory begins with what Jesus has done for us, not what we have done. Now, by the word of their testimony, what does that mean? A testimony is the declaration of what God has done. In practical terms, I was lost and Christ found me. I was addicted and Christ delivered me. I was bitter and God healed me. A testimony is evidence that God's grace is real. This is why testimony is powerful. It exposes the lie that people cannot change. So for us at Mobile Faith Studios in the Testify project, this part is especially relevant. Every genuine testimony says, the enemy does not get the final word in my story. That's why testimonies encourage faith in others. They did not love their lives unto death. Now, what does this mean? This is the part that many people skip. The believers in Revelation were willing to remain faithful even if it cost them everything. Their victory was not measured by comfort, popularity, money, or even physical survival. The victory was faithfulness. The early church understood this. You can take my possessions, you can take my reputation, you can even take my life, but you cannot take Christ from me. That's overcoming. So what does this all mean together? Revelation 12:11 is essentially saying God's people overcome Satan because they trust completely in Christ's sacrifice. They boldly tell what God has done in their lives and remain faithful no matter the cost. So you have these three elements working together. The blood, that's what Jesus did. The testimony, what God is doing in us. Faithfulness, that is continuing to follow Christ regardless of the outcome. For our testimony ministry, this verse is a mission statement. The blood of the Lamb changes lives. The testimony tells the story, and the courage to share it helps others overcome. That's why Revelation 12:11 has become one of the most quoted verses about testimony. It presents testimony not as self-promotion, but as spiritual witness that points back to Christ's victory.